我在看的时候，只有一间老屋子这么小的位置而已，但是那个地很大。我到它的2楼的时候，那看下去，哇，太舒服了。
We wanted very much to preserve this very green character of the site. So we actually transformed the new bungalow extension into a series of green terraces.
The entire idea was for the new extension to kind of disappear into the landscape. Rather than it being changed, it has kind of been reinforced, especially with the interior design.
我就请了风水先生过来看，他说这块是风水宝地，所以我也就开始放心下去建这个屋子。
Once you come into the site, you will see that this is the conserved colonial bungalow. It is almost a century old, and we are required by URA to conserve this building. You can see that there's some relationship between the old building and the new building in terms of colors and also some texture and materials that we use.
So there was actually a bit of investigation that we did, especially with the red bricks that you see up on the second story. So we had to get the contractors to grind down, remove the layers of paint, and then we finally got to the base of the brick, which was actually quite nice, the color. I would describe the style as contemporaneous, which means together with the same period of the time, with the environment that it confronts, namely the conserved bungalow, as well as the natural environment that it overlooks.
Taking cue from the colonial architecture of the heritage building, we wanted to give the same flavor to this design within the living space.
This grills here was specially designed like a fan shape, continuing from all the flora pattern that we see on the window grills here.
This 这个屋子的设计，过去一直时常有去中国考察跟买一些采购产品，去参观了许多四合院，我就把 idea 告诉了我的设计师，最好是建成现代化的四合院。
So this main space, which is the main family gathering area, is almost like a courtyard, which is framed by the conserved building at the back. And then here is the two blocks, which forms the eldest son's room and the eldest daughter's room.
Coming from a very humble background, our client actually is very proud of his roots. When he gave us a black and white old photo of the first pig that his father reared in their farm when he was young, it became very clear to us that we had to use this to do something very exceptional.
我需要的是大自然，所以石头就用的很多。 还有我的天花板都是用柚木来建设，所以整个屋子里里外外都是大自然的东西。
So we are here at the movie theatre. This is a dugout space. We nickname it the sound cave.
The veneer also bear resemblances of dugout marks. In terms of designs, the lights are incorporated in a very diffuse manner, and you only see lines like the gaps around all these wall panels.
This sound cave is one of its kind now in Singapore, and it's done especially for this project. Mr. Lim is almost a geologist himself. He collects a lot of special stone. He came across this granite, which has a bluish iridescent sheen. It's nicknamed as peacock stone. So we have used that as a feature element for some of this wall.
墙壁呢有这种石头拼出来的图案，中间看起来是一个钻石的那个切法的那个形状，上下呢有那个倒影的那个心形，心心相印。我太太听得很喜欢啊。
What I appreciate most about the house is how this house can be toggled between compartmentalizing the different areas to host different groups of people at the same time. My favorite area is of course the basement because it's where all the very cool entertainment activities can be held. So it's a very good place for me to hang out with my friend.
传承很重要，历史很重要。华人传承的那个文化是这样，因为四合院也是这样嘛。 子子孙孙都希望住在一起，大家都能够照顾来照顾去。
You don't find comfort here. You come here for a new experience. It might be exciting. It might be a food for your soul. I just want you to interact with the food. It's like when you were little, you are given crayons, and then you started to draw. First 3 or 4 courses, people are panic and they don't know what to focus on. When it comes to the 5th course, they let go and they have fun and they find their own space. The philosophy of the restaurant is to convey you into a new space, which should be an empty space. I grew up studying art for so long, since I was 15 until I was 28. After I finished my degree in art, I tried to pursue my career as an artist. It didn't work out. And then I remember that there was a dream. I wanted to cook, so I started cooking. Like how I paint the picture. My cooking is the same. I would close my eyes and I would imagine. After when we are born, then we have memories. And then from memories, you have references. And so people always get stuck with references. We hope that at this space, we can convey you to a new space. Meaning like there's no judgment from your references, so that you can accept any kind of cuisine. The inspiration from the latest menu comes from my hometown. It has to be the space where I feel really comfortable. That space is like mountains and sea, it's where I'm from. I like to go and sit by the ocean and just stare at the infinite sea because I found peace. Infinity is peace and it's beauty. It belongs to everyone, I guess. And that's why it's called appreciation. The dramatic feeling of my hometown is what I translate to my dish. I don't know how to categorize my cuisine, and I don't know why we always label everything. Because I need to categorize my cuisine, so I say it's conceptual dining. When you come to this kind of restaurant, you have come past the point where you just go to a restaurant to fill up your stomach and to feel like, oh, it's so comforting because it's so tasty. You come to this kind of restaurant because you want to feel the excitement, or you want to find something new, or it can even be the food for your soul. My food is tradition yet modern. I cook the food in traditional way. But I present the food in a modern way. I feel like it's not important to talk about the ingredients because being a chef is about using good ingredients already. I am doing something else here. I want my guests to be like empty here first without me telling them, and then they can think. That's what I mean, they could find a new space.
Coming here, it's full of surprise. You have to guess what the flavors come from, and also everybody needs a little bit of mystery and discovery, and that's amazed me.
What is idealistic beauty? Why people have to have the same nose and same face and same color skin and same everything? The imperfect, broken plates are as beautiful as the round plates. And if we are not, is there a space for us? So yeah, everything is as beautiful.
I think in Singapore, people are so far removed from crafts that they don't even think that artisans exist. I guess the image of an artisan conjures up something like elderly people working in a dimly lit, shabby environment. People don't associate artisans to like two young graduates like myself and Diana. I would say about half the visitors that come to our workshop, they're very surprised to find that 100% of the work is done on premise.
I think in Singapore, to the best of my knowledge, there are no other necktie makers.
We make ties that are supple and lively, and for us very important is that it's comfortable to wear, especially in a hot and humid climate like Singapore. A tie like this, although it looks reasonably well, it's made from exactly the same fabric. It's going to have little sharp edges here at the side, so it doesn't drape as naturally as something that's been cut on the bias. It's absolutely fluid.
That eventually results in a 3D plump finish that feels very tactile when you touch it.
I would say we are obsessive about things that we do, and we try and do it like over and over and over and over until we get it to the point like, oh yes, that's it. We don't call ourselves artisans officially. I think it's a title that somebody bestows upon you. We are just regular craftspeople doing things to the best of our ability. The whole beginnings of our business was that I wanted pocket squares for myself. As a university student, I had better taste than I had money. So I asked Diana, who's always been interested in crafts, if she could make me a pocket square from some of the vintage fabrics that we bought from Japan. We don't have any formal training or experience when it comes to sewing. I'm fully trained by Diana. We re-engineered the process of making neckties by taking apart some old ones. And over the course of a year, we finally figured it out.
When we started the business in 2011, Singapore was still kind of known as a sartorial wasteland to many menswear aficionados. We wanted to flip the entire notion that Singaporeans can actually put out something good in terms of menswear.
This is a 4-fold tie. If you count the folds, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Usually for 4-fold ties, there is a little bit of a wool interlining that's halfway through the tie. It gives it a little bit more bounce and adds a little bit of a wrinkle resistance to the tie. So this is a unlined 6-fold tie. So there is no lining whatsoever in the tie, and the entire weight of the tie comes from the fabric being folded over itself 6 times. A tie like this is extremely beautiful symmetrically, and it's also what we would call as a pure expression of cloth. So the front is about 2 inches too long, and the back is about 1 inch too long. So if we make this tie 3 inches shorter for you, it will be just about perfect. A good tie is not only made well, but also fits the client right. In terms of proportions, if he has a very big face, you don't want to give him a very small knot that makes his head look even bigger. Once they find out that a tie can be customized to their height, to their torso size, we can change the knot size to suit their needs. Usually the client becomes almost a client for life.
Venda has a very thoughtful process in the whole creation of the tie. It doesn't just stop at the buying, it also continues on where you use it and you appreciate it more.
So luxury really is a matter of time. That's one thing that we try and give to every single client. Every tie is made with individual attention to care, whether in terms of cutting or sewing or inspection, quality control. That truly is what makes a luxury product.
We source our fabrics from the best weavers in the world.
Probably up to 60-70% of fabrics that we get are exclusive for us. That's a result of the close relationship that we have direct with the mills that supply us, whether they are in Como, Italy, or Sudbury, Suffolk, England, or the mills in Kyoto.
When we started the business, we were not even taking a day off. And after a couple of months, we decided to take one day off, and we realized how important that was for our mental health. We like what we do. We're happy with the work-life balance that we have.
We are basically very simple folk. We have very simple pleasures in life.
In terms of dreams, I think our craft by its nature is not highly scalable. We like to retain full control of what we do. We prefer to grow organically as we have done in the past and just reach more people globally that we have not been able to. That would already make us happy.